Hi, this is Candy from CG Applique Patterns. This video will introduce you to my patterns and prepared applique techniques. These are the basic supplies you will need for all my patterns. An LED light box, available at Amazon for about $20. It has 3 different light levels, and you plug it into your phone charger. Frixion pens. I use them for marking fabric, and they are disappearing. I use a .07 size, and you can get them at Amazon or Walmart. That purple thing is a plastic tool that's used in preparing the applique templates. It has a curved end and a flat end, and you will want to get on Amazon the 4 or 5 pack, because they do wear out after a while, and this tip sometimes breaks off, so you'll want a few of them. They aren't expensive. It's like $7, $8 at the max for the 5 pack. Along with that, you may have a Stilletto, or you may want to get one for the same use as the or a helper to the purple thing. I use the Elmers washable glue. It's the purple stuff, and you will want probably a 4 pack or more of them. They're not expensive, but we do go through it. Freezer paper. I use freezer paper, and it's just a plain old Reynolds paper. Scissors. Okay, you'll need 2 sets. 1 set of medium and small fabric scissors, and 1 set of medium and small paper scissors. The fabric scissors I use are from Karen K. Buckley. They are specific to applique. They have serrated blades, and they're a little pricey, but if you do a lot of applique, you really need them. They're great. The paper scissors can be plain. They should have some kind of point on them. For the little one, really should have a point on them, because they're used for cutting out the paper pattern pieces out of the freezer paper, and that you need to get into small places sometimes, and these are very good to do that. These are just things I've had for years, so you don't have to be fancy. It just has to work. Okay. I also use an X-acto knife for cutting out pattern pieces. You can interchange the X-acto knife with the scissors sometimes, and it's also great for cutting out interior parts of some of the patterns. Quilters will be familiar with this. It's a binding clip, and in my case, it's used to keep sets of finished patterns together before they're placed on the background. I do use a mini iron, available at Amazon for, I believe, less than $10. It's just a simple iron. I don't use any steam in it, and it's great for ironing the freezer paper to the fabric for the templates. Okay, the next thing I use a lot of is scraps of fabric. All different sizes, colors, everything, because applique pieces generally aren't that big. So if you have a stash of scraps, you can go through them and find really interesting things that will fit with my applique patterns. But if you want to go a little farther than that, you can find fabric in quilt shops. I do shop quilt shops. Again, you don't need a lot. I never buy more than 1/4 of a yard, and I usually get the strips. If I see something that isn't on a bolt anymore and is just a fat quarter, and I really love it, I just get the fat quarter. So these, it's going to be about $3 average for each quarter yard of fabric. I love greens. I use greens a lot. I have a lot of green fabrics because I do a lot of flower work, and with stems and leaves, I do more than one color. I usually do 2 colors at least in a leaf. So we need different types and colors. I do not use large prints. You'll see I use all prints, but not large prints. Very, very rarely will you see a solid in the patterns that I make. The little prints can be anything at all that will look good in a tiny, in a smaller piece. I have grunge. I have batiks. I love the metallics because they stand out. They're really cool. It's hard to see the metallic on here. There it is, but you can see it. Again, these are some batiks. Hoffman had a lot of these out not too long ago. I hope they still bring them back. And just different. This is a cotton, so cottons and batiks work. These are my greens, and then I have some more funky things. I have the whole series of this particular fabric that I got in a quilt shop, and they were nice enough to send it to me because right now I live very near it, but I didn't used to. But they're just all like lightning bolts or water or something that, again, you can get pieces out of a lot of the different colors. This is a batik with some purples and blues. Here's just one that, again, you can have a darker or a lighter version of it. I liked this little print, so I got it. It's got some silver metallic. This one I just got, I'm not sure exactly how I'm using it, but again, it's still small enough that you can use it on I have hummingbird patterns, I don't have butterflies yet, but flower petals, you just think crazy. This fabric I used in my seahorse. It's quite a big piece for my seahorse because it just went with what I was doing. And this were the tentacles for my octopus pattern. So you can find all sorts of stuff in the quilt shops. I very rarely use geometrical figures with like squares or rectangles, anything with sharp curves. I don't think it goes with my patterns because my patterns are very flowy and they aren't rigid. They're not like a house or anything. They're animals and natural living things. So for me, these type of pattern fabrics are the best. Here's an orange with, again, unmatching colors, but they work. These real tight patterns are great because, again, you can get different looks when you move your pattern pieces around. Here's a red. This is about as geometrical as I get. Something like this, because again, in a small space, it works. Okay, this fabric I found in Joann's on a sale. It was like $5.99 or $5.49 a yard. I got a quarter of a yard for it. It's an orange, a really neat mottled orange with gold metallic. It is not the best of fabrics, but if you see something that really catches your eye that is not the best, because Joann's has some lower level fabrics, but this was a print I really knew would work in my work. And the pieces, again, they're usually very small. They may be long, but they're still small. It's not going to ruin the piece. Get it if you love it. Another thing that I like is ombres, and I try to find them. They're not real easy to find, but they do work very well because when you open them up, they get darker. They have usually a dark side and then a lighter side. And again, here you go. You've got a dark blue, you've got a yellow, you've got one that's kind of half and half. You can get a lot of really neat pieces out of this. Okay, and that's what you'll need. Oh, the one other thing is a background piece for your applique to sit on, and that's up to you as to what you're doing. The patterns that I'm going to be doing next are the beginner patterns, and they are just on a off-white, tone-on-tone, a simple cotton. I quilt a lot, so I don't use real heavy stuff, but I do pillows too, and you might need a medium size. But that's just something that'll, for right now, just something that'll show what you're doing and won't be too hard to stitch through. Okay, now you can see my current patterns and purchasing info on my Facebook group, CG Applique Patterns. You can join. There's nothing to that at all. Just join that. And the next video I will be doing is a demonstration of step 1 of my beginner flower patterns. There's 3 of them. This is the first one that we'll be doing, drawing the whole pattern onto the background. This is the second flower in the set, which is a little more difficult. We deal with circles and a little bit advanced, layering. This is the third one, which gets a little bit more complex with reverse applique. So you'll be learning all those different techniques and how to layer them on the fabric in future videos. Thank you very much.